Race fans, welcome to Auburndale Speedway. We thank you for coming out on this beautiful night for racing here on this Saturday, first Saturday of February. A cool 66 degrees with the wind blowing about 12 miles an hour. It's going to be a good night for racing. My name's Steve Darling. I'm joined with Jake Wilson tonight. Jake, thanks for coming out.
Happy to be here, Steve. Great to be here once again. And on behalf of Ricky Brooks and everyone from the SRL Sportsman Series, race number 2 of the 2023 season, getting ready to get underway. It was a record-setting night at the Freedom Factory last month. 45 sportsmen set a record for the sportsman cars with a 45-car entry, making way for a 24-car feature. And here tonight, 24 cars in the house once again and getting ready to go for qualifying for the SRL Sportsman Series. Remember that 2 cars on track at the same time. Best of 5 laps will be counted as our first 2 cars make their way out onto the speedway. It's going to be first the number 32 car in the Lands Used Trucking Machine out of Plant City, Florida. Will be the number 32 of James Jones. And joining him on the speedway, driver out of Arcadia, Florida, in the James DeBose Motorsports, number 67, it'll be James DeBose. First 2 cars on track to take time here this evening.
Yeah, James Jones making his way down the backstretch has taken the green flag, and now James DeBose as well. Usually, like Jake said, they're taking 5 qualifying laps, but usually the first 2 laps or so, they're just kind of getting some heat in those American Racing tires, and we'll see the speeds pick up as they get to the money lap, 3, 4, 5 possibly.
Yeah, a lot of times you're going to see that driver around that 3rd or 4th lap is when they're going to put down that money lap, as you say. Every now and again you'll see them continue to increase their speed as they go on, and by the time they get to that 5th lap, sometime they might have used up a little bit, especially here. And this track has been very, very slick. A lot of these drivers have been having a little bit of a tough time here today, including the 67 of James DeBose, who went around several times in practice. And currently James Jones with a 14.580, the time to beat so far, about a half a second quicker than the 67 of James DeBose, who looks like he continues to struggle, but a huge pickup there for him on that lap, as now he's got it to a 14.685. Still 1/10 of a second off of the best lap by James Jones.
Yeah, DeBose is coming around taking his white flag for his final qualifying lap, and James Jones is going to take the checker flag for his final qualifying lap. Put him top of the board on the first 2 cars early out with a 14.554.
Here comes DeBose coming around his final time. He'll cross the stripe, and he's not going to pick up enough. A 14.637, his best lap, but not going to be fast enough, as James Jones will be your fastest of the first 2 cars that have taken time. As we continue on, like I said, we're going to have qualifying, again, 5 laps for each of these drivers. And this is a driver that had a little bit of a tough time earlier in practice. Good to see him back out on the speedway. But coming off of a top 5 effort there in the 10X, the Choice Automotive Southern Comfort Home Care Travis Rowland Motorsports entry out of Pinellas Park, Florida, the 10 of Austin Craig. And also joining him on the speedway, the Q Auto Accident Attorney Sunset Auto and Tire entry out of St. Petersburg. It's the 54 of Danny Partillo. So now for Partillo, Steve, he did not make the big show at the Freedom Factory. He was unable to race his way out of the B main, but Craig really surprised a lot of people and worked his way through the field, through the Freedom Factory event, avoided a lot of chaos, and was able to score a huge top 5 finish for him with a really, really stout field of cars.
Oh, absolutely. It's a beautiful looking car, that number 54 machine. Q Auto Injury Attorney, practice attorney.
Sponsor here at Auburndale Speedway as well, there on the side of the car for the 54. You're watching right now on Pit Row TV, pitrow.tv. You've got the double box. You see the 10 of Craig on the right side of your screen, Partillo on the left there in the 54. Making their way around Auburndale Speedway, and currently Austin Craig with the fast time of 14.198. As he comes to see the white flag, and even faster there. It looks like they're going to reset the time here, 14.114. We'll see if that's time is going to stand up or not. Looks like we're having a little bit of an issue with the time of the scoring ticker, as they'll get that fixed here. Partillo comes by to complete his final lap there. Yep, go ahead, Steve.
No, both drivers are taking their final qualifying lap, as you were saying. Just going to see, and they have corrected the scoring system here. On top of the board is Austin Craig in the 10X with a 14.083 with the time to beat now.
Well, on track now. This is a driver that was runner-up in the point standings here for the SRL Sportsman Series last year. Went to victory lane twice last year for the series and was the most recent winner here at Auburndale Speedway. He's got 9 career wins in the SRL Sportsman Series, 3 of which have come here at Auburndale Speedway. This could be a driver that is wanting to definitely improve off of his run that he had at the Freedom Factory. It's in the custom airboats by Todd Brown Twin Diesel Performance. Number 23 out of Zephyr Hills, Florida will be Devin McLeod. And also out on the Speedway, making his first start of the year for the SRL Sportsman Series, the Sean Harper Racing 00 out of Auburndale, Florida, of Sean Harper. So Steve, Devin's had a pretty busy week. And right now, you can watch live right now if you're checking in on Facebook, Twitter, on pitroad.tv. Free preview coming your way, as we'll have the pay-per-view coming up a little bit later on, right around 7 o'clock. Yeah, be sure to check us out. Let us know where you're watching from.
Yeah, we've got a change on top of the board here. We've got Devin McLeod now with the time to beat with a 14.016. Sean Harper up to second with a 14.037. McLeod even faster that time by as he takes the white flag.
McLeod jumping up into the 13-second bracket. It's been a busy week for McLeod. He's been racing his dirt modified all week at East Bay, taking the night off here tonight to compete in the SRL Sportsman Series. And how about a 13.940 fast time so far from 23 of Devin McLeod. And Sean Harper says, excuse me, coming through. 13.938 for the 00 is Sean Harper. Great pickup on the final lap.
Absolutely. Setting the bar high early on with a bunch of cars still to come out. We've got a couple set to come out now. Looks like the 30 of Chris Huntoon.
Yeah, that's going to be the Exterior Services Incorporated, West Coast Florida Riders, A Classy K9 Dog Grooming, RRD Russell & Sons Contractor, number 30 out of Port Charlotte. That's Chris Huntoon. And also joining him out onto the Speedway as well, going to be a driver out of Sarasota, Florida, the Digital Homes Gus Course and Garage, Mark Peterson Motorsports, number 73P of Mark Peterson.
Both drivers taking the green flag. Huntoon coming around for his first qualifying lap. Did some heat with American Racing tires. Early on, he's at a 14.581.
These are two drivers that did not make the feature for the first race of the year at the Freedom Factory. Were unable to qualify in and did not race their way in through the B main, so they're going to look to improve on their effort from the last race at the Freedom Factory. And so far, they're still chasing 00 of Sean Harper. Peterson so far, fastest of these two, currently fifth quick at a 14.298. And just as I say that, Huntoon jumps him up into the fourth spot with a 14.111 for the 30 of Chris Huntoon.
Peterson Huntoon coming off of turn 4, taking the white flag for his final qualifying lap.
Huntoon going to try to improve on his fourth place effort. Peterson still locked in the third spot. His best lap, his third lap at a 13.954 as Huntoon is going to complete his qualifying session. He'll improve, but unable to move up the speed chart as he'll remain fourth quick at a 14.052.
Early on, looks like there's a lot of speed throughout the field on these early qualifiers.
Yeah, really cool night here tonight. There is a pretty heavy breeze blowing here tonight, which is going to kind of cool things down a little bit. But like I said, in practice earlier, a lot of sunshine over this track, not a lot of shade at all today, so the track was pretty slick earlier. We'll see if the track starts to tighten up here as the night goes on. Coming up next on the Speedway in the number 92, making the haul all the way from Lizella, Georgia. That car based out of Hollywood, Florida. It's the Crawford Tracy Glazing Innovation Certified Optic Solutions signed fast number 92 of Joe Winchell. So Winchell, 3 career wins in the SRL Series, was 10th in the point standings last year. Great to have Joe here tonight competing with us in the SRL Sportsman Series. Kind of the godfather of the SRL Sportsman Series, as you say. And also on the Speedway in 73B machine, the SRQ Taxes and Pit Stop Bar and Grill, number 73B out of Inverness, Florida, Jason Bartram with a new look to his car this week.
Yeah, we've got some yellow cars and some purple cars out there. Variation of colors on the track right now.
Yeah, new look for Bartram, normally rocking a pink and black look to that car, switching it up. And he did, we saw back in the pits, he did unfortunately put his first scratch on the car. So we're checking out on our Facebook right now. We got people watching from Louisville, Kentucky. Shout out to David Prock. And Phil Jakes, unfortunately, watching from home, driver of the number 77 car. We were hoping to have Phil here tonight, but unfortunately, Phil under the weather and not able to compete with us here tonight.
The hero, Joe Winchell, takes the white flag, as well as Jason Bartram. Winchell coming around for his final qualifying lap, going to take the checker flag. Currently, he's locked in 5th position with a 13.985.
Fifth win for the 92 at Winchell, and a great effort there by Jason Bartram, third fastest, his best lap at a 13.944, his third lap there for Bartram. So good qualifying effort out of the 73B machine. As our next two cars get ready to make their way on the track. A little different look here this week for the 87 machine. Normally that would be the 07 piloted by Jeff Schofield. But instead tonight in the Choo Choo Lawn Equipment, Lilly Heating and Air, and Earthscapes Body Fabrication and Bodywork, Crawford signed number 87 will be Keith Lilly, winner of one of the races last year here at Auburndale Speedway. And joining him on the Speedway, going to be his teammate, the JXT Transporting, Choo Choo Lawn Equipment, Earthscapes Landscaping, Lilly Heating and Air, Blue Gator Restaurant, Crawford Signs, Jane Carter Attorney, Boyd's Fabrication and Bodywork, 07 of Tyler Schofield out of Plant City.
Drivers are coming around now, taking their first qualifying lap. Jake, the last time that the SRL Sportsman Series visited Auburndale Speedway back Thanksgiving weekend, the time to beat was Brandon Morris with a 13.921. So they're flirting with that early on.
Yeah, these cars have got a lot of speed, and we've got the faster cars still to come. Remember, they do reverse of practice speeds is how they set the qualifying order. And remember, we'll talk about the invert that's going to come up later on. It's going to be a minimum of at least 4 cars, anywhere from 4 to 9 cars checking that are going to get inverted. Checking in with some more of our people watching live on Facebook. Clayton Smith checking in, and how much to watch on Pit Road TV? It's 25 included. Yeah, it's included with your monthly subscription, just $25 a month, and you'll be able to catch this race. And don't forget, the next SRL Sportsman race is going to be coming up next month at Citrus County Speedway. And as we're talking, Keith Lilly jumps to the top of the speed chart with a 13.876. Great lap by Lilly. He was tough to beat last year. He just would not get off the bottom of the racetrack, and Keith putting out a great qualifying effort there, as Tyler Schofield's got to be a little disappointed with a 5th place effort out of the 07. On the Speedway next, in that red number 14 machine, the B&W Supply, Sorrell's On-Site Fleet, Shifters, Transmissions, Rocking Rick's Kitchen, number 14B out of Lakeland, Florida, of Adam Briggs. And also on the Speedway, driver of the Prestige Metal Products Epic Auto Salvage number 40 out of Bartow, Florida, Brandon Strevel's on the Speedway. Strevel's coming off a 22nd place finish. A little disappointed with his effort. The first race there at the Freedom Factory for the 40 of Strevel's, but for Briggs, pretty solid 8th place effort for the young driver. And we're going to see if they can get to the top of the speed chart and challenge the 87 to Keith Lilly. Keith Lilly, Sean Harper, Devin McLeod, Jason Bartram, your top 5 there. And right as I say that, Strevel's jumps to second. 13.917 goes to 40 of Brandon Strevel's.
Yeah, and that's a respectable lap for lap number 2, so there's only more time to gain on that.
P1, top of the chart so far. Strevel's getting even faster. 13.789, and Briggs now goes second quick, 13.860, and Strevel's continuing to get faster and faster. 13.758 that last time by, the time to beat. And coming by to take the checkered flag to complete his qualifying run, Brandon Strevel's with a great effort here tonight.
Yeah, Jake, yesterday we had a little bit of weather move through the area. It's all clear for tonight, but kind of washed the track off a little bit, and we've got a blistering track tonight, I'll tell you.
Up next on the Speedway, the Bun Racing B&E Auto 02 out of Palmetto, Florida, will be Dodge Carlbert. And also joining him on the Speedway, the Certified Optics Solutions Chad Pierce Motorsports number 5 out of Plantation, Florida, is Chad Rutherford. So Rutherford joining us here at Auburndale Speedway tonight. I mean, Carlbert, the last time he was in action, busy night for him at the Freedom Factory. He ran in all 3 divisions that race that night, so a little bit easier of a night here tonight for Dodge. They're going to try to bust up into the top 5 or into the top 10, but so far, a little bit slower on the speed chart so far.
Yeah, Dodge is one of our young up-and-coming drivers. He's actually a veteran now, racing several divisions, and he'll hold the steering wheel for basically anybody that will allow him to.
He's come a long way from the rookie class at DeSoto Speedway. That sportsman race at the Freedom Factory was the first time he ever got to race on the what we would call the big oval there, not running the interior track with the kids used to run. So pretty cool moment to see there at the Freedom Factory. And Rutherford's got his hands full. Looks like they're coming out of turn number 2. trying to find as much speed as he can. Carlbert jumps up to P3. Appreciate everybody that's watching live right now on Pit Road TV. Savannah Bluff, South Carolina checking in with us as well. And Rutherford going to dig out of 4. Can he get to the top 5? Not quite. He's going to stay P11, 14.044, the best lap there for the 5R of Chad Rutherford. Carlbert, nice run. Third quick, 13.847, his time to beat. As we're getting down to it, now we're starting to get to some really, really fast cars that were fast in practice earlier. First up, we're going to have the 10H in the straight line fence KT Performance Hamilton Racing 10H out of St. Cloud, Florida will be Joe Hamilton. And joining him on the speedway was the fast qualifier and the runner-up from race number 1 this year at the Freedom Factory. In the major site development, Campfire Coffee Liqueur, Dolce Vita Salon, Master Set Tile, Crash Claims are .us, 5X of Steve Gill. Also, see what kind of laps Steve Gill can put down here. He was so fast at the Freedom Factory. Started all the way in the 9th spot, worked his way up to a runner-up finish. And again, we're checking in with our Facebook feed here. Got people watching in from Columbia, Missouri, Savannah Bluff, South Carolina, Lima, Ohio, our friends from UNOH checking in up there. And BAM Racing Videos, been waiting for this all day. Yeah, so have we. So far, unable to break into the top 10 until there. There goes Steve Gill. 5th quick, 13.891 goes the 5X of the driver from Sarasota. Joe Hamilton, unfortunately, not able to bust up in the top 10. He's currently 14th quick at a 14.057. Gill jumps up P2, 13.791. Final time by here for Hamilton. Let's see what Gill can do. Final time by. And he's going to come up, let's see, just a little bit short. 13.764. 6/1,000ths of a second off the pace set by Brandon Streevels.
Yeah, it's a pretty fast speed there. And Gill's one of those drivers who I don't think he's run a full season yet with the SRL Series, but he's kind of thought maybe after the Freedom Factory, this might be a good beast to start taking these events.
He's got a very, very fast race car, and so are these next 2 cars on track. First one's going to be the Autotech Collision Center AMF chassis, affordable screen printing, competition coatings, tailpipes, and accessories. Kevin Macy Racing, number 19 out of Winter Haven, Florida. That's Kevin Macy. And also on the speedway in the 16S, the Delarian Trucking and RFD Motorsports entry out of Davie, Florida. It's Tim Sozio. Great top 3 effort for him at the Freedom Factory. Tim, 3rd in the point standings last year, yet to get a win in this SRL Sportsman Series. And I feel like this is finally going to be the year for Sozio and that team where they can finally break through and get a trip to victory lane this year. Tim has been so close so many times, and he's been showing a lot of consistency the last couple of years, and I feel like that win is right around the corner for that 16S. And that's just an awesome-looking race car.
Absolutely. Sozio and Kevin Macy, they're just 2 drivers that are quietly always in the top 3, top 5. Every time you look up, they're kind of sleepers that are going to prance eventually.
Well, P1 for the 16 of Sozio, 13.737, a blistering lap for the number 16 of Tim Sozio. Kevin Macy currently 4th quick, 13.805 that last time by for Macy. As he comes to see the checkered flag for the final time, he's going to pick up but will not move up the speed chart. 13.787, and for Sozio, he saves the best for last. 13.719 goes the 16S of Tim Sozio. So down to our final 4 qualifiers. Just 2 more groups getting ready to come out. And coming up is a driver that very, very quick earlier in practice. And also on the speedway will be our winner from the Freedom Factory, but we'll first talk about the number 8 machine, the GRD Kathy Boyd's Tax Service First Class Insurance entry out of Winter Haven of James C. Wright. And also on the speedway, the winner of race number 1 this year from the Freedom Factory. He led all but 6 of the 75 laps. driver of the number 1 RFD Mike Scott Plumbing Exquisite Pools entry out of Brooksville, Florida, the number 1 of Daniel Webster.
Jake, not only is that a fast car, that's a nice-looking car.
Took home the best-looking car award from the Freedom Factory event. He actually picked that award up earlier today in the drivers' meeting. The first time that car debuted, it did not go so well for Daniel up at Five Flag Speedway, but making the return trip to Freedom Factory earlier in January, Daniel had a very, very fast car. He led 69 of the 75 laps en route to a huge win to kick off the 2023 season. But right now, both these drivers have got to be a little disappointed as they're kind of farther down the speed chart than they would want to be. Everybody's chasing that 13.719, but Daniel Webster says, hold on, I got you. 13.660, quick time for the number 1 of Daniel Webster as Seawright busts up into the top 10 with a 13.864 on his final lap. Webster slows down just a little bit, but 13.660, the time to beat as we get ready to roll out our final 2 qualifiers. On the speedway first, in the AMF chassis, Cross Electric, Auto Tech Collision Center. First place auto sales, number 56 out of Mulberry, Florida. Your reigning, defending SRL Sportsman Series champion with 5 career SRL Series wins, the 56 of Brandon Morris. And also joining him on the speedway is going to be the number 34 car, the Land Use Trucking entry out of Lakeland, Florida, of Chase Lovelady. Let's see what kind of lap Brandon Morris can put down. Does he have anything for the 1 of Webster in his 13.660? Morris, despite being the champion last year, did not visit Victory Lane for the SRL Sportsman Series. He'd love to get a win here at his home track of Auburndale. And so far off to a pretty good start here with a best lap so far on lap number 2. Actually now actually a little bit slower here this time as Morris had a little bit of a wiggle there coming out of 4. Third quick, 13.757 for the 56 of Morris as he works through turns 3 and 4 looking for the white flag. A little bit slower there that time, a 14.073. Seeing if he can make up any lost ground. Lovelady currently 18th quick. Final time coming by. The 56 of Morris at a 14.055 is not going to get there. So that means that your fast time is going to go to the driver of the number 1 car with a 13.660, the number 1 of Daniel Webster. There you see Daniel posted down there with Tyler Sontag. Speedy showing us, throwing up the number 1. It's been, hey, Daniel's off to a hot start here in 2023, and he keeps it going here tonight at Auburndale Speedway.
Absolutely, picking up right where he left off there at the first race of the season at Freedom Factory. So we'll have to see where the dice roll is later on tonight.
Yeah, we'll check out that dice roll. And again, thanks everybody that's been tuning into our free look-in right now on Facebook and Twitter on pitroad.tv. Remember, you are going to have to order the monthly subscription if you want to watch the feature races coming up later on. Just $25. We'll get you coverage for the entire month on pitrow.tv. Glad to have them with us here tonight, official streaming partner of the SRL Sportsman Series. While we have a second, we want to thank some more of our great sponsors and supporters of the SRL Sportsman Series. On behalf of Ricky Brooks and his team, we want to thank our friends at Sunoco Race Fuels, American Racer Tires, which gives away 4 free tires to a driver during each race and each event throughout the year. Our Fast Time Award goes courtesy of our friends at Merco All-Purpose Cleaner. Case of that's going to be headed the way of Daniel Webster. Also, thank you to our friends at VDL Fuel Systems, Driven, Doco Performance, Integrity Transmissions, Schoenfield Headers, Swift Springs. Thank you all for your continued support of the SRL Sportsman Series. Ricky Brooks and our staff want to remind everybody that our next event for the SRL Sportsman Series will be coming up March the 4th at Citrus County Speedway. And then after that, they'll be heading to Mobile, Alabama, April 1st to be a part of the SRL National Doubleheader Weekend for the Davidson Electric 125. SRL National Series got their season started out at Auburndale Speedway on January 21st when Jacob Gomes took home the checkered flag on that race. The next event for the SRL National Series will be coming up at South Alabama Speedway March the 19th for the running of the Rattler 250, paying $25,000 to win.
Yeah, sounds good, Jake. You touched on Danny Webster as our fast qualifier. Tim Suzio was second, Brandon Morris third, Brandon Strevels fourth, Steve Gill fifth, Kevin Macy sixth, Adam Briggs seventh, Dodge Colbert eighth, Joe Hamilton ninth, and James Seawright rounds out the top 10. From 11th on back is Keith Lilly in the 87 11th, Sean Harper 12th, Devin McLeod 13th, Jason Bartram 14th, Tyler Schofield 15th, Mark Peterson 16th, Joe Winchell 17th, Chase Lovelady 18th, Chad Rutherford 19th, 20th to Chris Huntoon, Austin Craig 21st, Danny Partlow 22nd, James Jones 23rd, and to round out the field, James DeBose in 24th.
And we are going to be cutting our feed here for the live look-in right now on Facebook and Twitter, so be sure to head over to pitroad.tv, get your subscription ordered, and we're going to get ready to go racing here in just a few moments here at Auburndale Speedway. We'll be having our parade lap, our invocation, and national anthem coming up in just a few minutes. Thanks for everybody that's live here at the racetrack here at Auburndale Speedway and everyone watching live on pitroad.tv.
Switches can